This video is brought to you by Temu. Thanks to the people at Temu, they are giving new users a $100 coupon bundle. Click in the description below to claim the bundle and use them for your next purchase.
The episode kicks off with Tsubaki dreaming of the deep thoughts adolescent boys had about their first romantic encounters. His alarm clock interrupts him, and a fleeting memory of a nectar-filled flower prompts him to drown his toast in honey. Upon his arrival at Kazumini Municipal High School, the class welcomes a new transfer student, Mikoto Urabe. Many label Urabe as strange because of her abrupt demeanor, unusual sleep habits, her reluctance to mingle or eat with other girls, and an odd burst of laughter during class. One afternoon, Tsubaki, returning to fetch his forgotten lunchbox, wakes up Urabe. As her bangs shift, he gets a full view of her face, which captivates him despite a drool trail. On impulse, he tastes the drool she left behind, finding it surprisingly sweet, and then bolts from the room in confusion.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
That evening, Tsubaki dreams intensely of an enigmatic girl leading him on a dramatic city adventure. Yet a few days on, a sudden fever hits him during gym, leading to a doctor diagnosing him with a cold. When Dorothy learns of Tsubaki's illness, she visits him ostensibly to hand over school assignments, but she's really there because she believes he tasted her drool. After Tsubaki confesses, Urabe offers her saliva-coated finger for him to taste, alleviating his fever instantly. She claims his sickness stemmed from love withdrawal and a need for her distinctive drool. Feeling refreshed, Tsubaki returns to school the next day only to find Urabe waiting to initiate their drool bond. As his affection for her deepens, he dreams again of dancing with her in the city, pushing him to confess his feelings. Tsubaki proposes that Urabe become his girlfriend, but she demands a unique proof of his affection. To show this commitment, Tsubaki presents an old photo of his middle school crush, Hayahawa Eka. He confesses that only after spending time with Urabe could he let go of Eka. After tearing the picture, he proclaims Urabe as his girlfriend, deeply moving her. She then reveals her loud classroom laughter arose from a premonition about their future intimacy. They affirm their mutual inexperience and love, leading to Urabe's emotional reaction. After Tsubaki's heartfelt confession, Urabe agrees, declaring herself as his girlfriend. At school the next morning, Tsubaki's friends rate the attractiveness of girls in their class. Reluctantly, Tsubaki keeps the score. As he daydreams about his new girlfriend, Urabe, his friends move on to rate her. Claiming she's too weird to score, they skip her, causing Tsubaki's annoyance to bubble. Later, as Tsubaki and Ueno buy drinks from a vending machine, Ueno suddenly seizes Tsubaki's arm. He mentions that the back of the arm felt like a breast. Tsubaki, curious, touches his arm and mumbles Urabe's name, making Ueno suspicious. Distracted by thoughts of Urabe not noticing him, Tsubaki asks Ueno about his first move if he hypothetically had a girlfriend. Ueno, suspecting Tsubaki hides something, advises that holding hands would be a great start. Delighted, Tsubaki dashes off. As Tsubaki walks home with Urabe later that day, he reaches for her hand. Before their hands touch, she pulls away, demanding an explanation. Tsubaki confesses his desire to hold hands. Urabe bluntly declines, saying there's no need. Frustrated, Tsubaki ponders why they don't act like a typical couple despite dating for a month. The next day, seeking more advice, Tsubaki turns to Ueno. Growing ever more suspicious, Ueno suggests getting to know a girlfriend's hobbies. Curious, Tsubaki probes if Ueno has a girlfriend, which he denies. On his way home, Tsubaki decides to discuss hobbies with Urabe. After their routine, Tsubaki inquires about Urabe's interests. She flashes her scissors and astounds him by skillfully crafting camellia flowers from paper, explaining that Tsubaki means camellia. Stunned, Tsubaki questions her unusual skill and her choice to keep scissors in her panties. She simply states that it's her way, adding she's fine revealing her white panties to him alone. At home, Tsubaki almost asks his sister about panty scissors, but retreats from she seems baffled. That night, he dreams of being attacked by scissors, and shockingly, the assailant is Urabe, scantily clad with scissors at her side.
Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my.
Taking Ueno's advice once more, Ueno now believes Tsubaki bapes someone and suggests making a proper introduction. Realizing he introduced Urabe when she first joined class, Tsubaki disregards Ueno's advice, feeling lost. That evening, their routine changes as Urabe leaves early. Heartbroken from continuous setbacks, Tsubaki's spirits lift when she returns, offering candy she'd been enjoying. Overwhelmed, Tsubaki embraces her, only to have her evade him and slice nearby cardboard boxes. Warning him about boundaries, she departs, leaving Tsubaki baffled. Later, Ueno gifts Tsubaki 2 movie tickets, stating he'd already watched the film. When Tsubaki invites Urabe, she declines due to prior plans. Attempting her daily ritual, Tsubaki's pent-up emotions erupt, leading him to question their relationship. Urabe emphasizes the uniqueness of their drool bond. To illustrate, she guides him to a derelict house. There she undresses and offers him potent drool, emitting intense sensations. While she stands naked, Tsubaki remains unaware, eyes shut. She reiterates the bond's importance, stating it's because of their relationship. Upon opening his eyes, he finds her dressed. As they head home, she admits her fear that he peek. Questioning her about the potential consequences, she demonstrates by cutting up his notebook, hinting at a possible loss of control. She apologizes and they head home. After finishing his after-school tasks, Tsubaki finds Oka and Ueno kissing in a vacant classroom as he picks up his backpack. Ueno urges Tsubaki to keep their relationship a secret. Although hesitant, Tsubaki agrees. But thoughts of couples kissing preoccupy his mind, and the next day he fantasizes about kissing Urabe. After school, they sit on a park bench to do homework. But instead, Tsubaki daydreams about kissing her. Detecting this, Urabe directly asks if he desires a kiss. Excitedly, he says yes. However, instead of kissing, Urabe twirls, gathers her drool in a test tube, and tells Tsubaki to drink it before bedtime. He does, noticing its unique sweetness, and soon falls asleep. That night, he dreams of Urabe sharing a candy to a kiss. He complains about the unromantic, sudden nature of his first kiss, spurred by his jealousy. Urabe argues the kiss lacked importance. Waking up troubled, Tsubaki reflects on this dream. The next day, while walking home, Tsubaki recounts his dream to Urabe. They stop in a secluded forest area where Urabe asks if he wants a spontaneous kiss. Gathering courage, Tsubaki emphasizes the importance of an emotionally charged first kiss. Seeing Urabe blush, he realizes she agrees. In class, Tsubaki daydreams about connecting with Urabe and falls off his chair, catching the soccer star Ogata's attention. Later, during cleaning duties, Ogata confesses to Urabe. She says she'll reply tomorrow. After cleaning, Urabe tells Tsubaki about Ogata's confession, asking him not to interfere, leaving Tsubaki troubled. The next morning, Urabe has an idea while dressing. At school, she struggles against the wind lifting her skirt. During lunch, she exits the classroom with Ogata following. Outside, as the wind picks up, she doesn't reply verbally but offers Ogata her enhanced drool. Feeling nothing, Ogata realizes he can't be with her. Walking home as Urabe battles the wind and her skirt, she tells Tsubaki she rejected Ogata. During their drool routine, Tsubaki gets a nosebleed. Urabe had expected this and shows him her unused panties, revealing she didn't wear any that day. Tsubaki stashes them in his pocket. Urabe mentions they are now ready for a real kiss. Tsubaki tries hugging her, but she taps his head with scissors. Holding hands, they walk, their affection evident. But with Urabe leading, the wind lifts her skirt, giving Tsubaki a brief view and causing another nosebleed. During lunchtime at school, Tsubaki and Ueno share their meal as usual. Ueno excitedly speaks about his desire to see Oka at her summer track uniform, which reveals more of her figure. Suddenly, Oka appears and sits next to a sleeping Urabe, requesting to share her bento with her. Urabe nods in agreement and drifts back to sleep, only to awaken later, enticed by the delicious scent of Oka's lunch. Offering Urabe a taste of her homemade dishes, both Tsubaki and Ueno watch in astonishment as Urabe accepts. As they head home after school, Tsubaki probes Urabe about her relationship with Oka, hinting at their newfound friendship. Despite Tsubaki's observations of their closeness, Urabe dismisses the idea, asserting that Tsubaki remains her sole focus as her boyfriend. They share their routine drool bond and part ways, unaware that Oka observes them from an overhead walkway, her interest in their unique bond evident. That night, Tsubaki dreams of Urabe once more. They journey down a waterway in a familiar dreamlike city, with Urabe feeding him from a bento. Suddenly, she offers him a piece of omelette through a French kiss, leaving Tsubaki waking up with the taste of omelette lingering in his mouth. During PE the next day, Tsubaki and Ueno practice judo indoors, lamenting their missed chance to watch the girls' relay races outside. During the race, Urabe and another girl collide, causing Urabe to fall and graze her knee. Despite her insistence that it's a minor injury, the coach sends her to the nurse's office. With the nurse absent, Oka takes it upon herself to treat Urabe's wound. Seizing the moment, Oka shares a drink with Urabe, discreetly tasting Urabe's drool. Oka then proposes friendship, but Urabe declines. Before Oka can leave, Urabe casually notes that Oka's leg is also bleeding. Confirming her new drool bond, Urabe cuts her hand and they share another drool routine. Mirroring Urabe's injury, Oka's hand starts to bleed. When Yurube reveals her existing drool bond with Tsubaki, Oka admits to her spying activities and her knowledge of their relationship. While she initially aimed to establish a drool bond with Tsubaki, she settles for one with Yurube, who once more denies her friendship. During the routine drool session later, Tsubaki feels the pain from Yurube's injuries, his knee aching and his hand bleeding. At lunch the next day, Ueno plots to telepathically persuade Oka to share her bento. Meanwhile, Yurube, awakened from her usual nap, heads to a vending machine for apple cider soda with Opa tailing her. Attempting to test their drool bond, Opa shares a mental image with Yurube through her drool. From Yurube's reaction, Opa deduces the absence of a real kiss between Yurube and Tsubaki. Although Oka's friendship offers continue to be rejected, Yurube agrees to share a bento outside. As they eat together, Tsubaki and Lino stumble upon the scene, taken aback by the rapid intimacy blossoming between their girlfriends. Yurube spends 4 days at her grandfather's beach house, swimming in her black bikini and always carrying her scissors.
Now that's a good-looking woman.
In an outdoor PE session, while the boys practice soccer kicks, the girls take time trials in the pool. Ueno cunningly kicks a soccer ball towards the pool fence, hoping to see Oka in her tank swimsuit. He succeeds. Tsubaki, eager to spot Yurube in her swimsuit, flubs his chick and lands on his butt. After school, as Yurube and Tsubaki savor their popsicles, Tsubaki's notes and drops. With the heat intensifying, Tsubaki becomes enamored by the sweat on Yurube's neck. Sensing his attention, Yurube prepares to launch a panty scissors attack, but a sudden downpour interrupts. They seek shelter under a tree. Despite her perspiration, Tsubaki tells Yurube she smells delightful. She tastes her own sweat, comparing it to the salty ocean, and then invites Tsubaki to do the same. He obliges, imagining her in a white bikini. Once the rain subsides, Tsubaki proposes a beach date and she agrees. Summer rolls around and their daily drool routine remains unchanged. Tsubaki musters the courage to reinvite Yurube to the beach. Though she initially declines due to her plans at her grandfather's, she later agrees. That night, Tsubaki's sister Yuko notices his ecstatic grin, which he then sees for himself in the mirror. He dreams of a beach gay, with Yurube magically transforming into a mermaid. Come the day of their date, Tsubaki meets a deeply tanned Yurube at the train station. At the beach, he's spellbound by the sight of girls in bikinis, especially Yurube in her black bikini and sarong. After sharing yakisoba, they play in the water. Curiously, Tsubaki dives underwater, captivated by Yurube's physique, emerging Nifine's interest in her sarong's pattern. However, Yurube unveils a unique tan lie in the shape of her scissors, sending Tsubaki into a nosebleed frenzy. On their sunset train ride back, they reflect on their day. After sampling Tsubaki's drool, Yurube experiences a nosebleed, attributing it to his erotic memories of her bikini-clad tan figure and scissors tan line. She promises a similar sight next summer and drifts to sleep, leaving Tsubaki pondering whether to embrace her as she rests. One summer day, Tsubaki shops for new clothes when Oka suddenly approaches him, surprising him with her presence in that part of town. Her revealing outfit, a stretchy boob tube, halter top, and booty shorts, catches his eye and she grabs his hand, leading him to buy ice cream. Tsubaki expresses his concerns about Oka's boyfriend finding out, but she brushes it off, mentioning their closeness. She calls Tsubaki by his first name, Akira, distracting him for a sneaky drool taste, which reveals his wish to be on a first-name basis with Yurube. On the first day back at school, Ueno teases Tsubaki about his beach trip with a girlfriend, but Tsubaki lies, claiming he went with his sister. At lunch, Oka prods Yurube about their formal relationship, attempting another drool taste, but Yurube, annoyed, walks away. After school, as the heat bears down on them, Yurube rests under a tree in a park. Tsubaki buys drinks, but when he returns, he finds her asleep. He whispers her first name Mikoto and she wakes up with a soft smile. Although both acknowledge the use of her first name, they avoid discussing it. Tsubaki stumbles trying to call her by her first name again. That night, Tsubaki dreams of photographing Yurube in a fantastical cine. Waking up, he fetches his camera, pondering the idea of capturing her image. The following day, Tsubaki asks Yurube for a photo. She agrees but walks away when he asks for a particular smile. That night, he daydreams of the perfect photo. Another day, as Tsubaki waits for Yurube on the regular bridge, Hidekala, his former crush, unexpectedly appears. Their brief exchange leaves Tsubaki stunned by her beauty. He declines her invitation to a cafe, holding out for Yurube. Walking towards the end of the bridge, he discovers Yurube eavesdropping. She confronts him about keeping Hayakawa's picture in his wallet. Their walk home is tense. During their drool routine, Yurube's sadness overwhelms Tsubaki. She admits fearing he might choose Hayakawa over her. Tsubaki reassures her, and she rewards him with a fleeting, gentle smile. Seizing the moment, Tsubaki quickly snaps a photo, but the result isn't what he expects. Yurube cheekily sticks out her tongue. Though disappointed, Tsubaki decides to cherish the quirky photo, placing it in his wallet. Yurube's overwhelming happiness results in a drool-filled reaction. After finishing second only to Yejima, the school's track star, the team invites Yurube to join the relay team. Walking home from school, Tsubaki praises Yurube's athletic prowess, notably her panty scissors moves, and questions if she plans to officially join the team. She declines, wanting to keep their after-school walks. The track team adjusts its relay practice to noon for Yurube. During a session, Oka points out to Yurube that her golden legs have the potential for nationals, yet she prioritizes her walks with Tsubaki. Tsubaki, from a window, watches Yurube's impressive relay practice. That night, Gulam has the feeling of Yurube drifting away. When he falls sick the next day, Oka tells Yurube about a method that can help him recover, reminiscent of her experience with Ueno. In the afternoon, Yurube visits Tsubaki, bringing homework as an excuse. Donning a heady winter coat, she provides her drool, now revealed to be enhanced for Tsubaki. Soon he envisions a summit sunflower garden, feeling invigorated. As Yurube walks home and takes off her coat in her apartment, she unveils a maroon bikini underneath. At the next day's athletic festival, while discussing Tsubaki's remarkable recovery, Boka recalls assisting Ueno during his illness. Visiting him, Ueno jokingly expresses a desire to see her in a swimsuit. Boka, taking him seriously, soon changes into a cream-colored bikini in his room. Damn! She straddles the foot of his bed, and upon her inquiry, a rejuvenating Ueno confirms his returned energy. Watching the sports events, Oka queries Yurube about her methods, specifically if she showed Tsubaki her bikini. Yurube admits to only using her drool, but pressed by Oka on her hesitance to reveal her bikini, Yurube insists she'd never do so. Intrigued, Oka conducts a surprise drool test using a cat-sighting distraction. The result reveals Yurube's true reason, sheer embarrassment. As the girls' relay race starts, Yurube appears indifferent. However, in a thrilling finish, she and Yejima clinch first place. Post-festival, Tsubaki realizes his locker sticker is missing. On their walk home, Yurube checks his sincerity about her joining the track team using a drool taste test. She then flashes the sticker, adhered to her golden legs, signifying her candid response. On an early autumn Sunday, almost a year into their relationship, Tsubaki dreams that Yurube removes her school uniform's neckerchief, inviting him to touch her. Waking up, he imagines the pleasure, but guilt drives him outside. His sister's breakfast presentation, 2 meat buns resembling breasts, doesn't help this state of mind. Tsubaki strolls into a bookstore and picks up a movie magazine only to see a page with a bussy actress in a revealing bikini. Distressed, he leaves, wandering aimlessly and ending up at Yurube's apartment complex, Green Village Kazan. Just then, Yurube cycles up, returning from grocery shopping. They chat, but as Tsubaki turns to leave, Yurube invites him in for coffee. On the 10th floor, storm clouds approach. Inside, Yuruma takes off her coat, revealing a snub black sweater and miniskirt. Tsubaki, reminded of his dream, explores Yurube's bed, but her scent intensifies his desires. As they sip coffee and impending rain looms, Tsubaki moves to kiss Yurube, but she pushes him away. When she stands to switch on the lights, a thunderclap startles her, causing her to fall into Tsubaki's arms. He sees an opportunity, but Yurube warns him off with scissors. Admitting his dream, Yurube performs a drool test, confirming his feelings. As tears stream down Tsubaki's face and another thunder echoes, she gives her consent. Yet Tsubaki hesitates, and when he finally touches her, he feels her heartbeat overwhelming him. Pushing her down, he moves in, but Yurube's tears halt him. Misreading them, he leaves in the pouring rain. The next day, after sharing lunch, Yurube offers Oka her drool as dessert. The intensity surprises Oka, hinting at a transformative experience for Yurube. Oka's questions send Yurube fleeing to a galley where she acknowledges her altered senses. Later, Tsubaki seeks Yurube's forgiveness, requesting a slap as punishment. She obliges, but then asks him to touch her earlobe, reaffirming her changed senses. They exchange drool, with both savoring the heat from their new closeness. Yurube wakes up feeling even more exhausted than when she slept, and despite being a school day, her messy hair reflects her tired state. At school, even though she dons a neat uniform, her tousled hair stands out. Both Tsubaki and Oka take note of it. Before classes begin, Oka suggests styling Yurube's hair in an unused classroom and transforms her hair into twin tails. When Yurube returns to class, she becomes the center of attention, earning even Yujima's praise. During the combined PE class, boys can't help but stare at her, much to Tsubaki's dismay. As they walk home, Tsubaki, burning with jealousy, asks her to revert to her original hairstyle that obscured her face. Responding unexpectedly, Yurube tells Tsubaki to playfully mess with her hair, hinting at a bit of flirtation. She then asserts she won't adopt the twin tails look anymore, admitting she enjoyed his touch as a form of playful intimacy. The encounter leaves Tsubaki daydreaming about their playful moment. The following day during lunch, Oka offers to redo Urame's hair, but Urabe rejects her twice. Oka deduces that Tsubaki's jealousy might be the reason. The drool taste test between Urabe and Oka confirms a romantic tension between Tsubaki and Urabe. To further prove it, Urabe playfully messes with Oka's hair, impressing her. Later, as they walk home, Oka asks Ueno to ruffle her hair similarly. When he does, they both grasp the intimate connotation and understand the level of Tsubaki and Urabe's romantic exploration. Days later during recess, Nakajima from the photography club offers photos of Urabe and twin tails for 300 yen each. An infuriated Tsubaki can only vent his frustration by crushing a soda can. Ueno, misinterpreting Tsubaki's distress, jokingly asks if he needs a restroom. The awkwardness dissipates when Nakajima asks if they're interested in buying photos. While Ueno declines out of loyalty to Oka, Tsubaki, though tempted, also refuses. When a student mentions Urabe's resemblance to the idol Momoka Mae, a clueless Tsubaki gets curious. Ogata mentions amazed TV commercials. Post the regular drool exchange, Tsubaki dashes to a bookstore to find a Momoka Mae album. As he eagerly buys one, Ueno spots him. Trying to save face, Tsubaki hurriedly explains and leaves. At home, he avidly flips through the album, especially admiring a centerfold of Mae's sweet smile, reminiscent of a moment he shared with Urabe. The next day, Ueno spills the beans to Oka about Tsubaki's purchase, and she shares the news with Urabe. After school during their drool ritual, Urabe confronts Tsubaki about the album. Flustered, he claims he was drawn to Mae's resemblance to Urabe. She instructs him to fetch the album and meet her at park. Upon arrival, Urabe browses the album, her rising jealousy unbeknownst to Tsubaki. When asked about his favorite image, he shows her the centerfold. But as he does, Urabe's bubbling jealousy erupts. In a swift motion, she uses her signature move, the panty scissors attack, shredding the album into bits. She certainly reminds Tsubaki of his commitment to her and not to a lookalike idol. Transitioning from her fierce demeanor, she bids him goodbye, ensuring he understands the depth of her possessiveness. Urabe repeatedly destroys Tsubaki's Momoko Mae photo and art books, prompting Tsubaki to visit the bookstore once more. As he exits, Hayakawa, his former middle school crush, strolls by. She's even more alluring now, sporting a short hairstyle and the miniskirt and uniform of Hashirama Girls Academy High School. They decide to walk together, reminiscing about mutual friends. Tsubaki's errors begin when he falsely claims he's single, despite Hayakawa's instincts telling her otherwise. At a playground, they recall middle school antics and Tsubaki confesses he once collected a strand of her hair. Hayakawa responds in her own secret. She kept a coffee cup from a boy she admired. The conversation turns emotional when discussing Hayakawa's recent breakup. Seeing her tearful and drooling, Tsubaki feels an overpowering urge to taste for drool. He nearly does, but the memory of Urabe's passionate declaration stops him. He pulls back, tears forming in his eyes. Hayakawa realizes he indeed has a girlfriend and that they share a unique drool bond. After learning Urabe's name, Hayakawa departs with a plan. At home, Hayakawa fantasizes about a missed opportunity in middle school to bond with Tsubaki through drool. A wicked scheme forms in her mind. The next day, she approaches Urabe, inviting her to the Hashirama School Festival and hinting at Tsubaki's presence. Later, a distraught Hayakawa manipulates Tsubaki into attending the festival as her boyfriend to deter a supposedly violent ex. Tsubaki agrees despite his reservations. Unbeknownst to him, Hayakawa's bruise is fake. When Urabe asks about Tsubaki's plans for Sunday, he claims he's shopping with Ueno. But Oka later reveals to Urabe that she and Ueno are attending the festival. Suspicion grows in Urabe. On the festival Sunday morning, Tsubaki arrives, stunned by the attendees' cosplay. Hayakawa soon joins him, dressed as her middle school self. They walk hand in hand and memories flood Tsubaki, leaving him deeply rattled. On Sunday morning, the Hashirama Cultural Festival opens and a large crowd of attendees gathers at the entrance. Among them, Tsubaki wonders about his presence and observes many girls cosplaying or cross-cosplaying. A cosplayer at a cardboard robot costume soon enters. Later, Tsubaki meets Hayakawa, who wears her cute no-school uniform and a long jet black wig. She grabs his hand and they stroll arm in arm like a typical couple. Meanwhile, Oka and Ueno attend the festival. Oka enters a maid cafe while Ueno searches for a bathroom. When he eventually joins her in the cafe, Oka, dressed as a French maid, serves him coffee. Uncomfortable with onlookers snapped in photos, Ueno rushes out. As he leaves, Oka spots Hayakawa and Tsubaki walking closely. She discreetly tails them into an empty building and then an upstairs classroom. There, Hayakawa strikes a pose for Tsubaki by a window and proposes a nostalgic embrace mirroring a middle school memory of them as we're sitting. Although Tsubaki declines, Hayakawa persuades him to touch her cheek and then offers a romantic relationship, promising to grow her hair long like her younger self. As Oka spies secretly, Hayakawa's romantic advances intensify. However, when Hayakawa offers her drool for Tsubaki to taste, he hesitates and eventually declines. Just as Oka is about to intervene, Yurabe, disguised as the cardboard robot, stops her. Emerging from her hiding spot, Yurabe challenges the duo to a drool taste test. Tsubaki blindfolds himself for the duel to the death contest. After a powerful reaction to Yurabe's drool, she reveals herself by cutting open the cardboard robot's suit. Now it's Hayakawa's turn.
Oh! Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
She undresses, preparing her drool sample, but her emotions take over, causing her to cry, thus spoiling the moment. She turns to Gurabe for answers. Confessing, Hayakawa reveals that despite her appeal, she's never been in an intimate relationship due to her unreciprocated love interests. Yurabe comforts her, forming a girl-to-girl drool bond and assures her that she will find her bond with someone else. Meanwhile, Tsubaki's blindfold slips, revealing the two unclothed girls. They immediately slapped him, knocking him unconscious. As Tsubaki remains out cold, tension brews between Hayakawa and Yurabe. But the atmosphere lightens when Hayakawa suddenly laughs. She openly shares her recent experiences and her newfound understanding of the deep connection from drool bonding. As the festival concludes and attendees depart, Hayakawa, back in her uniform, contemplates growing her hair long like in middle school. On a journey home, Tsubaki and Yurabe will clear up their recent emotional turmoil. Yurabe shares a tale of dating another boy from her previous school, questioning its truthfulness. Tsubaki apologizes for his behavior and Yurabe confesses her story was a ruse, hinting at their imminent first kiss. After a quick drool taste test, she teases Tsubaki for his childish behavior. Every day, Oka and Yurabe share their lunch at school. On this particular day, Oka is curious. After watching Yurabe swiftly shoot her cardboard robot costume with scissors, she challenges Yurabe to show her the technique. Holding a cardboard sign and scissors, she eagerly awaits a demonstration. However, Yurabe refuses, disappointing Oka. Oka then shows Yurabe a picture from after she shredded the robot costume that asks about Tsubaki's reaction to it. Upon seeing the revealing picture, Yurabe quickly destroys it with her scissors technique. Oka, utterly amazed, lifts Yurabe's skirt to see where she cheats her scissors. Later, as they walk home, Tsubaki cheats glancing at Yurabe. At their usual bridge spot, Yurabe tricks Tsubaki into sharing his drool, revealing his thoughts from their walk. This leaves Yurabe overwhelmed with intense feelings. Once home, she recalls Oka's words and wonders if Tsubaki's thoughts were wrong. The next day, Tsubaki struggles to forget the image of Yurabe. While sharing drool, he impulsively hugs Yurabe, prompting her to react with her scissors. She accidentally cuts him, drawing blood. Concerned, she insists they go to her apartment to treat the wound. Inside, while Tsubaki waits in her bedroom, Yurabe tests her scissors technique on a picture, damaging a curtain in the process. In the bedroom, Tsubaki examines Yurabe's bed. When she returns, she tends to his wound and explains that a recent dream might have affected her accuracy. Mention of the dream makes Tsubaki confess to feeling Yurabe's damp pillow, surprising her. She then shares a mental image through her drool, which alarms Tsubaki. As he tries to leave, a series of accidents lead to him hitting his head. After the accident, Yurabe comforts Tsubaki with an intimate embrace. They then part ways with Tsubaki curious about her dream, which she keeps a secret. In Yurabe's room, she tests her scissors technique again, this time successfully. Lying in bed, she reflects on their brilliant connection and drifts to sleep, dreaming of a chase in a dream city both visited before. At school, Riedo also sports a forehead bandage thanks to an accident with Opa's attempt at mimicking Yurabe's scissors technique. Later, Sawana changes Tsubaki's bandage, prompting a jealous look from Yurabe. After school, when they meet, Tsubaki wears the original bandage, believing it'll help him heal faster. As they share drool, he hugs Yurabe again, expecting a scissors retaliation. Instead, she admits she wanted the embrace. As they part, Tsubaki realizes he's breaking through to her emotionally. One afternoon, after he returns home from school and sees his older sister, Yuko, asleep at the heated table, spotting drool on the table, reminiscent of Yurabe's past incident at school, he wakes Yuko up and points out her drool. Curious, he asks if she has a boyfriend, possibly hinting at drool bonding. Offended, Yuko storms out, leaving Akira pondering if any boyfriend would find her drool bonding cute. A few days later, Yurabe spots Yuko at an outdoor deli counter in a shopping district. They recognize each other from Yurube's visits to Akira's house and decide to chat at the Cat Town Cafe. Over coffee, Yuko nostalgically touches Yurube's school uniform, reminiscing about her own high school days. She then directly asks if Akira is seeing anyone in his class. Yurube, blushing, remains elusive, hiding mid-depth of her bond with Akira. Yuko reveals her own high school romance, recounting how Akira discovered her drooling while asleep and questioned her relationship status. She ponders if her dream influenced his query. Yuko then remembers her high school days when Arima took a photo of her drooling, finding her twin tails and drool endearing. Yuko fears she might have bored Yurube with her past, but the latter inquires about Arima. Yuko admits they lost touch post-graduation and she's been single ever since. As they leave a cafe, Yuko gives Yurube a cherry mochi, hinting she knows about her relationship with Akira. On the spring equinox, the Tsubaki family visits their ancestral grave. After performing the ritual, Yuko shares her prayer for Akira's well-being, while Akira remains secretive about his. Later, Yurube casually tells Akira about her encounter with Yuko and the revelations of Yuko's past relationship. Akira feels surprised and shares about the recent family visit to their mother's grave. On Sunday, Yurube, dressed unusually cute, visits the Tsubaki family grave with Akira. She pays respects to his mother's grave and asks Akira about his memories of her. They then share an intense drool bonding experience, evoking deep emotions from both. As they leave, Yurube hints at the blossoming relationship, much like the budding cherry trees, and Akira silently prays, acknowledging his relationship with Mikoto Yurube. Want to see more thrilling anime recaps like this one? Check out this next video right here.